Hi guys! Guess what? It's the fall season. It is the fall. We are finally here. Now I know I don't have on a fall color outfit. I don't have on a fall color dress, but that's okay. That's because the name of this video is called Seasonal Growth. This is now a new segment, a new category in my blog and my vlogs, and I know you guys are used to the whole I'm only sticking to seasons by the weather and nature, right? Fall, winter, spring, summer, but no, we're doing things a little different. Yes, we are going to be starting off with fall after this video and after this blog, but listen, it's time for a new segment called Seasonal Growth. So let's get into this video. Back to the channel and welcome to this segment or this new category I finally added called Seasonal Growth. Wanted to add this category for a very long time now, but it just wasn't the right time, and now it finally is. Seasonal growth, as an overview, is basically about experiencing different seasons in your life. Now typically y'all usually would get, when I talk about different seasons, it would only be the summer season, winter season, fall season, whatever season, but now we are simply just going to be going through every single season and journey that there is. And when I say that, that just doesn't mean me talking about the winter season and solitude and this and that, but this was birthed and born based off of my tattoo, as y'all can see, Ecclesiastes, because at one point I couldn't pronounce Ecclesiastes, I was not saying it right, but it's off Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verses 1 through 8. There's a time and season for everything under the open heaven, a time for joy, a time for sadness, a time for war, a time for peace, all that good stuff. Read it, get familiar with it, because you're going to hear about this verse a lot in this new category. Now for me, seasonal growth is going through different seasons, obviously, but there's always something to be learned and something to always be taken, something to always be accounted for, something to always appreciate out of the season, whether it's a good or a bad season, because without the good, there's no bad. Without the bad, there's no good. And it will always just be flat line. We can't have a flat line. We need those hills and those lows, those highs and those lows, and that's what makes us us. Now you decide whether it's going to make you bitter or you're going to take it in and just become a whole better person. So with seasonal growth, like I said, it's not going to be just based off of the nature seasons that I have, but it's also going to be on the different seasons that I've experienced and the different seasons that there is, really and truly, like going through a drought season, going through a solitude season, yes, going through a season where it's a Job season or a David season, a Ruth season, a Esther season, a Deborah season, a Mary Magdalene season, a Peter season, or a Jesus season. Just going through different seasons in our life. A season where you probably need to be single, a season where you probably was just constantly doing all the bad things, a season of where you moving in silence, which is what some of y'all need to do, so things can actually happen, stop talking, a season where you need to shut up, a season where you can't even tell your own family the moves you're making because it just needs to be you and God, a season where it's just you and one person. Like, this is what seasonal growth is all about. Okay, seasonal growth is just about anything that you've experienced and you had to go through that particular season. I personally have been through some seasons. I may have not gone through it in the way that it was portrayed in the Bible, but it can be in a sense of where similar things that were happening to you, you can relate it back to the Bible, because let's be real, the Bible is repeating itself and it's coming into fruition. I read about this story. For example, I'll give y'all one. I love Esther. I love the story of Esther and I love the story of Deborah. I resonate with them a lot. And I went through a season of Esther, but it wasn't the kind that was in the Bible. If for you who are familiar with the story of Esther, you guys know that she was a Jew, if I'm not mistaken, and she had to prepare for the king and she became the queen. And before the king could have decided on who he was going to make his queen, each candidate basically had to prepare for 1 year. Her first 6 months she prepared with like oils. The last 6 months she prepared with fragrances, and then she presented herself to the king. For me, I had a season where I knew where I wanted to go and I knew where I wanted to be. I just didn't know how I was going to get there. So I had a season where God was preparing me for 5 years. He wasn't just preparing me for a whole year or a couple months. God had to give me a straight 5 year of preparation to understand, all right, you want to get to this point? I'm going to start you from here, and you're going to see what it is to have tears, blood, and sweat, and cry, and want to curse people out and want to freak out, but you're not going to do it because you know better and you should do better. Like, listen. What is this? Oh my God. All right, the wasps are out. The wasps are attacking. So, and it's hot out here today. Oh my God. But that's what seasonal growth is about. And trust me, with each post I do, there will be something to take in. There will be something to learn. A lot of you are in seasons and you don't even know how to identify the season you're in. And sometimes it's okay if you can't identify it. Sometimes you make up the season yourself. I know there are people who go through a season of just silence. They're not saying anything. And I think that's a popular one where they say, stop posting, deactivate your social media. Focus on you, focus on your hustle, and when you come back out in the next 6 months, you a completely different person with a completely different mindset, yada yada yada. That's the season. That is definitely a season. You may have a season where you're going through just, it's like you're grieving. You don't know exactly how to identify your emotions, and the only escape you have is probably doing things that comfort you most, whether it's probably drinking or going out every weekend to forget about your problems. You're probably going through a season where you just feel like you're just going through it, and every day it's something. Every other week it's something. But if it's one thing that I want this to teach you guys, it's not for no reason. It wasn't all for nothing. It was for something. Because when you start to put the pieces of the puzzle together and you start to look at that prayer that you've been praying of something that you want, and you start to look back at, well, that makes sense why I've been through this, or that makes sense why I've been through that. It's going to start to make sense why you had to grow through what you went through to get to a certain point. I don't like to say go through. I like to say grow, because you're going to grow through it. And like I said in the beginning of this video, it's up to you if you're going to allow that to make you bitter and cold-hearted, or you're going to take it in and you're going to allow it to make you into the person you are meant to be. So I look forward to this new category. I look forward to this new segment. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. And yes, we are in the fall season, so don't worry, I got my fall post coming up. Even though in the Bahamas, we don't experience the fall. We don't get the fall leaves. As you can see behind me in my yard, it green, ain't nothing brown. That tree in the back there is naturally that color. That's the color it's supposed to be. That's the closest I get to fall. But I'm not gonna ramble anymore. I look forward to this new segment. I hope you guys are excited to start this new seasonal growth journey with me. I can't make no promises. I may have people come on. I may not have people come on. I may have someone come with me and we actually talk about a season that they were in and we discuss it. Who knows? Who knows? If you guys have any ideas of how you would like me to do this segment, this category, you can let me know. I'm open to ideas 110%. So with that being said, guys, thank you for joining me on Seasonal Growth. Can't wait to see you guys on my first video. I love you all. Keep blooming. Don't choose violence. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I love you. Bye. Mwah.